Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Captain of Industry. Hope you're having a sweet day. It's been a little while. Sorry about the delays in uploads. So today what I'd like to focus on is I want to get going with maintenance 2, and that means bringing in a new resource called quartz. I'm also going to be doing some exploration with a ship because I'm falling behind in that, in my opinion. And so actually what I'd really like to have happen is for ships to make their way over here and start keeping this fuel stored if we could. So maybe, if somebody could come over here and do that, that'd be great. Maybe I'll put a truck on it. Because I'd like this ship to now start going around the map, and we're going to start exploring this a little bit more. I need to find access to nuclear technology. If you're wondering why I haven't started nuclear yet, it's because I don't have the tech yet. So if you take a look at the research tree and you come all the way over like so, you'll notice that uranium enrichment requires me to obtain nuclear energy technology from the map. So you have to explore the map and discover this. And I have not been able to do that yet. So that's what we're going to be doing today, hopefully, after a few cuts, is we're going to be able to hopefully get that taken care of. So I'm going to go like this. And, we have a sulfur mine there. I may dip into that. But what I'm really looking to get started with is this uranium mine. I'd like to get that online. I may use the limestone quarry, but we are absolutely going to be getting the groundwater well going, as well as the coal mine. These two things are going to be really nice to have. More water is great. And I'm going to be opening up a couple more fields and dedicating them to canola in a little bit too. We have this unknown location I'd like to explore, as well as this one over here. One of these I'm hoping has nuclear technology, and I'm just going to bet that it's the one furthest away, maybe even the one closest to the uranium mine. So I think the first place I'm going to explore once the fuel is in that ship is going to be right here. But of course we need fuel in the ship first. So while they're doing that, and while that's in route, in progress, at some point that's going to happen, I'd like to start talking about what will happen regarding maintenance. So maintenance is doing okay. We are producing as much as we need to, and everything is fine. All the belts are backed up, so we're able to handle what we need a lot, right? So we have a maximum need of 2121 on this, and currently the global need is 1779. But there's also the second one here, maintenance 2. And so if we can get some more of this going, I think that'd be kind of cool. And so I want to talk about some of the challenges that I've been racking my brain around and trying to plan this out. I want to say 80% planned here. So some of these questions I'll probably try and answer throughout the course of this video without actually knowing the answer to them as I speak right now. So here's what it breaks down to. If we want to get maintenance 2 going, we're going to need a couple of resources. And one of them, to get this going, is we're going to need to bring quartz in, add coal, add graphite to make molten silicon. That's going to have slag and exhaust as a byproduct. The molten silicon is then going to eventually get combined with hydrogen to give us silicon as a polymer. And then this is what we are going to ultimately use in conjunction with PCBs, which is a whole separate recipe we'll look at in a second. We're going to take PCBs, add electronics, add silicon, and we get electronics too. The PCBs are created from glass, plastic, and copper. So these are our fundamental, inputs to get PCB going. And you can see once we upgrade to the robotic assembly, we can start doing this in mass here. But I'm just going to go slow with this for now because I don't think we need a lot of it just yet. But I assume, I don't know this, I am going to most of this blind. I'm not looking at guides or anything. So this is the experience of a person playing the game organically, right? Glass, plastic, and copper, I assume anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I assume that maintenance 2 is significantly more effective or efficient, I suppose, or effective, either one, than maintenance 1. And so I'm hoping that maintenance 2 will be supplementary as we progress and get more and more stuff. I am trying to build big. I am trying to build lots of stuff. I'm hoping that will help take us into the end game. So glass, plastic, copper, and PCB. So let's talk about these 3 things too. Glass, plastic, and copper. Well, thankfully, we have a lot of that stuff sort of centrally located. The one resource that isn't really close is copper. It is kind of close, but not really close. Now, what I could do is pull the copper off this belt. That might interfere with this stuff, though, so I'd rather pull it off the end of the belt it's still going to rob supply from somewhere. I could set up a little storage tank here potentially and let a truck take it from here and dump it into a tank over here, wherever I'm going to be doing it at, right? So we'll probably deliver copper by truck. And the reason for delivering copper by truck is because we only really need 1.5 of it every 60 seconds per 6 on the PCBs. To make maintenance effectively the way I'm looking to do, we're going to want to have 24 PCBs, okay? Basically this recipe. So I only need 6 every 60 seconds. That's something that truck can easily do, okay? That's like one big truck per year, per in-game year to bring it. I think we can handle that. So we'll plan on copper being brought in by truck to a storage bin that's over here. Glass and plastic, I'm going to set the assembly for PCBs up right here, actually. I have glass right here, which I can easily route into it. I have plastic right here, which I can easily route into it. And the plan was always to kind of set up PCBs nearby. I was thinking about doing it here, but I've changed my mind. We're going to do it in this little spot right here, okay? Maintenance 2 is really not that much different than maintenance 1. In fact, these maintenance facilities actually have this going here, but these maintenance depots do not have the ability to be upgraded, which I find odd. They also don't have the ability to, since they can't upgrade, we can't do gold parts. And yet gold parts is still here in the list. I find that to be a little bit weird. So what we're going to be doing instead anyway is we're going to be using the maintenance. I'll find it eventually. I can never figure out where these buildings are. I think it's buildings. Yeah. Right here. So the reason why I think it's weird that they can't be upgraded is just like the ports. The footprint on the building is identical. There's nothing different about how much space it's taking up. In fact, it has pretty much the exact same design. And yet these don't have an upgrade button. Again, I find that a little bit weird. Nevertheless, we are going to be pushing this to be right around in this area. We have one recycling output, which will eventually meet up. It's going to go underneath the belts. So we're not going to be meeting on the other side. It's going to go underneath the belts and hook in from the other side, because we have the glass and stuff being transported on the other side there too. So I can't go direct. The glass is in the way. The broken glass, I mean, it's in the way. So we'll go underneath and we'll do it like that. I'm not entirely sure exactly where these are going to be at, but I'm fairly confident that I'll do them, you know, in this general area. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into planning mode here just to kind of lay in some buildings to kind of plan this out, okay? So we've got that going. Now, real quick, let me check my ship here. They are not bringing fuel. What is the deal? So I've had the back and forth about this, like the way that the storage tanks are, and if I tell them to keep it at a certain level full, they won't export out of it at all, etc. And like I have tons of fuel. You can see this is completely full. The trucks have no problem bringing it over to these ones. So it's looking to me like I actually have to have a specific route designated for this, and that's unfortunate. I was hoping that this could just be a global thing. One thing I might be able to do, because it does look like they are keeping fuel here from the other side, one thing I might be able to accomplish is to have this exported to here. No, I can't do that either, because if I tell them to keep it full, then they won't export. Okay, so here's what we'll do instead. We'll just say that this side, we're going to take this fuel and we're going to add a route all the way over here to keep that tank full too, okay? So now that can happen as well. And we'll go ahead and put this truck on there, and hopefully you will go off and do great things and take fuel, hopefully. If you don't, then it doesn't look like you are. You're gonna sit there and do nothing. Fair enough. You know what? Let's just unassign you and let you go bye-bye. So once this is done, I'm gonna go get that. All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna take the maintenance depots. This is what I'm setting up. Just basically 2 of these. Okay. To feed 2 of these, and we'll ultimately have this one be first and this one be second, and that's gonna be the same way here as well. Whoops. Here we go. We need to have 12 mechanical parts and 6 electronics. The mechanical parts is cake, right? That's coming out of here. And it's actually quite easy to supply that as well. So we have plenty of mechanical parts, although I did pause these for a little bit, so now I've got them running again. And, you know, as long as we can keep the coal running to the steel and the recyclables and everything, I mean, everything is flowing through here. So steel pops through this way and it ends up going this way, right? And so we'll have mechanical parts. So mechanical parts are then going to come after the bridge. Well, here's one problem, right? is that we don't want to disrupt this bridge for trucks. So we actually have to come after the bridge over here. We can't do it here. So we'll come out from this side and we'll link it up. I probably right off this part here, and then we'll get it in from a distance like that. And so that's how the mechanical parts will get fed into here. So for the rest of it, we're going to get assemblers, and these are the electric assemblies. And the recipe we're looking for here is this one: 3 glass, 3 plastic, 1.5 copper to make 6 PCBs. In order to satisfy 2 of those units, right, we need to have enough electronics for 2 of them. So we need 12 electronics. And to make 12 electronics, we're going to need 4 of the assemblers. So the assemblers 2, we can probably get away with. And again, we're in planning mode, so we shouldn't build these right away. We can probably get away with something that looks a little bit like this, but probably butt them up against each other so that the supply is always kicking out one through one belt instead of this connected 2 belts. So we can probably put them here, all right? The plastic will then be created from this side, and these are all full, so we're already producing more plastic than we need with just one of these facilities. Sorry, with 2 of these. It looks like one facility, but it's 2. With just these 2 facilities, we're already producing more plastic than we need. And so we'll have this. This was always the plan, to route this around from this side, underneath this, along the ground, and it will route and go up high, at least level 2, from over here, and then cross over top of this, not blocking the trucks, staying the same height, and it will eventually make itself and cross over here. And once it crosses, it gets itself into the system. And now that I see that, I kind of want to flip these over, but you know what? I think this is only a rough plan anyway. I think it'll be fine, but we are going to have the belt do that. So I'm going to take this belt and we're going to go around like so. And what we'll end up having is essentially a belt that does something like this. I suppose I can do something like this. Yeah, I want it to go right up against it. Can you do that? Or yeah, like this. And then you'll go like that. Yep. And then across like that. Yep, so you're not in the way of the trucks. Then you're going to come down at level 1, and then you'll enter in from this side here. And this is where we'll have the plastic route to, okay? So it'll end up getting over here somewhere, right? That's fine. So for the glass, also quite easy. It's already routed here. So we just keep it along this high point here. I didn't do a U-shaped belt there, did I? No, it's a flat conveyor. We'll do the flat conveyor here. We'll just keep it right on going. And we can curve it. Nope, that was good. Right there, yep. And we can curve it and get it into this. I was really hoping that you would... No. So do I have to raise you up? I don't want to. I really don't want to. Don't make me do it. I guess I can go underneath, but I'd rather not. It looks like it's going to make me raise it up. Can I just hold shift? It really won't. It really doesn't like me right now. There. There it goes. I was really hoping you just cut through there, but it looks like I'm going to have to raise it up in order to make that happen, unfortunately. Okay. And go just a little bit, please. I might have to go too far just to... You had it. You were right there. Come on now. You were going to do it. I saw it. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Let's let it go to 3, whatever. We'll end up having it go this way, and then it runs right alongside this belt. I was hoping it would go, yeah, like this, like right alongside it without having to go up over top of it like that. But it looks like this little bump, it needs to be 1 tile back, and then I could have done what I wanted to do, but it's fine, whatever. So we'll run right alongside this. At least to here. Trying not to block the trucks to go underneath that. I think that will still allow passage if it needs to. And then we can drop it down from there. All right, so this ends up being where our belts are, okay? And actually, I think I'm going to pull this back just a little bit because I may actually want to stay at level 2 from there. So we'll see. Okay, so we've got all those resources routed. The final thing then is copper, and it's pretty easy to do. We're going to take a small unit storage. We're going to pop it right here, and this is going to be where our copper comes from. It's a pretty simple thing. So I could probably just leave it like right up against this. And then copper will be fed from here into this system to make PCBs. The PCBs will then pop out, and they'll head that direction to be processed into electronics 2, okay? All right, let me check on this and try to figure out what's going on with it. It looks like we finally have fuel in here, which means the ship has fuel. Good. I want you to go here. I want you to tell me what's over there, okay? So we need to get this coal mine online because we're going to need the extra coal. I'm also going to want to get the groundwater well online. We have enough unity and workers to deal with that. I'm not sure about this stuff over here, but I definitely want to find nuclear energy. That's the thing that's missing. We've explored quite a bit. I mean, there's certainly a lot more we can go do. It's definitely not as explored as maybe some of you are at this level in the game, and that's fine. Everybody plays at their own pace, and everybody plays in a way that's fun for them to play. So I think whatever pace you've played at, that's fine with me. I hope my pace is fine with you. If I take... I'm looking at what it's going to take to make parts 4, because that's coming up too. The interesting thing is electronics and maintenance is going to open up maintenance 2 right here. And then the very next research after that opens up maintenance 3, which I find interesting. So we might be able to skip maintenance 2 entirely and go right to maintenance 3. But I don't know if there's like certain equipment that requires only maintenance 2 specifically. So I'm kind of planning for maintenance 2 with the idea that maybe maintenance 3 will be what we do instead. But you notice things start to get very complicated once you hit this stage of the game. There starts to be some, like, now we're going to get chilled water, for example, right? And eventually we're getting to parts 4, which requires those electronics 2 that we're going to be making a lot of. So like I need to make even more. Then we have microchip production, which is incredibly expensive and very complicated, and hopefully has I'm hoping to create that over here, but I don't know. There's definitely not enough room for it here, so it'll probably be created over here. I'm also thinking about that canola, right? And getting canola going. And I was thinking of getting that going along this side because we do have the room for it. It's just a matter of basically truck delivery at this point. And you can see we do have like a fuel station here that we could be supplying fuel to. We're just not yet. I've been going back and forth about my idea to make that separate town. I still like it. I still want to try it, but I acknowledge that this might screw everything up because I haven't really been able to brainstorm a way to get trucks to not make the long journey for no reason. It's impossible for me to determine how many trucks are going to want to take random resources from here and go bring them over there. So there's going to need to be a lot of micromanagement in storages and supply chain to get it to where trucks never deliver certain resources and truck them way over there. I want to have a completely separate colony over there that's independent from this one entirely, so the trucks never have to make the super long journey. I'm thinking more and more that that's not going to be possible. But we're going to try it. All right, we'll see. Location is explored. We've discovered some electronics 2 and some electronics 3. Hooray, but we haven't gotten nuclear power. What is this? It's green, which is new. There's also a town here, which is kind of cool. A settlement's here. Very cool. This settlement allows me to trade my red parts for electronics 2, which I think is pretty stellar as well. There's also some interesting trades down here, including slag for sour water. That's peculiar. I can trade my slag for basically a resource that's going to let me get a whole lot of fertilizer and a whole lot of water. That's not bad. This is not bad. I may look at this one later because one of the problems I'm going to have... I want you to come back, don't I? One of the problems I'm going to have with this process and making the silicon and all that stuff, specifically with the graphite, is that the formula for graphite requires, I don't want to go into this menu, I'd rather go in here. The formula for graphite is, if I can go backwards, going to result in sour water being a byproduct. And I don't yet know what to do with that. At the moment, I'm thinking trucks are it's gonna be something that's trucked, because I'd rather do that than to mess with more long pipes that take a small amount of sour water over to a destination. It's a relatively small amount. It's gonna be 12 sour water every minute. That is something that trucks can handle, and if I put enough storage, I could probably get a couple of trucks to do it every once in a while. We're gonna move that sour water over to a destination over here where it can be processed, and I was thinking about piping it because we do have a pipe route to do that, but it's such a low volume that I don't know if it's worth it. Probably having a couple of trucks do it every 4th or 5th month might be more efficient to just make that happen. Also wondering what you're trying to do. Hang on. So you guys are building that ramp, but right now you've kind of gotten to the point now where you can't quite reach. It looks to me like I don't need these walls anymore either. All they're doing is creating a problem on my notifications. So I'm going to take these down. That's going to lead to this basically falling in, but yeah, whatever. I'll probably just do it here too. I don't think it matters. This ramp is wide enough, and we're also making it wider by going down this extra row here too. So I don't think that's going to matter as much. Coal is full. Feels good. Power is running smoothly. That feels good too. Let's check over here really quick. The power problem I was having in the end of the last video, I think was caused by having all of these on. I can't be sure, but I feel like... I don't actually know why, but it felt like having all of these on and eliminating these two, that was causing a problem. So I put them back. And somehow it worked itself out, which is really odd to me. I'm not entirely sure why. One thing that might have happened, which I don't think this is it, but one of the things that might have happened was that the water got backed up in this pipe, and these couldn't run, which means the depleted steam couldn't be processed since I removed these, and then like everything got backed up. But I don't think that was the case, because this wasn't operating. There wasn't anything coming to the smokestack. And if this was really backed up, truly, if this pipe was backed up because it couldn't hold any more depleted steam, right? If that was the case, then it should have went this way. And if for some reason this was backed up too, then it should have came out of here, and this was not operating. So I really don't exactly know what that was at the end, but when I put these two back, somehow it just poof started to work again. Very strange. See, some things are still being delivered by truck, and that's actually kind of okay. You know, we're having, actually, I do want that to be import. Never mind. That's okay. I want that to be kept full, because we need the seawater for these things, right? So some of the stuff is still being delivered by truck, which is why I'm thinking I don't really need to have everything delivered, you know, direct by belt or pipes, etc. Right? I can start. I've got enough going with belts and pipes that I think having a couple of trucks delivering things is probably okay. You can see the maintenance is starting to get back on track here. They're not quite keeping up with demand though, which is interesting. Either way, I think maintenance 2 will solve any inefficiencies there. You might be wondering what we're researching. Well, if you take a look at the top of the screen, it's conveyor belts 3. And as soon as I get conveyor belts 3, this belt gets upgraded. Because we are actually outputting more than these belts can handle right now. And when these things pop, you know, you get 79 on this belt, and then this one here is going to do another 79. I mean, that's already way more than half the supply that this belt can handle, and we still have all these other farms that are eventually feeding into it. So it does get backed up without that upgrade. I am going to also want to get more of this upgraded, because I think more corn and wheat is never a bad thing. So let's just get that going, and we'll pop that. Okay. I also have to make sure that we have enough water to do this too. So I want to figure out what this is. I mean, it says unknown location, but it says it's green. I'm not sure what that means. But there's a lot of pirates and stuff too. Maybe the green means nuclear. I have no idea. Let's go see. So we can get rid of, I think, silicon, because we're going to start that now too. So I've been stalling a little bit here because I wanted these trucks to continue to deliver for this coastline. Because what I needed to do is I want to put another dock here. And this little bit right here is messing up my plans. It gets in the way of my dock, so I needed to scoot it over a little bit further. So what I'd like to do over here for creating the graphite is basically what this is. I'm not entirely sure what the quantity I'm going to need is, but I do know that tearing down a cargo depot 4 and replacing it with a 6 later, I mean, the amount of resources that it takes to between these two is kind of negligible. I'd rather just drop the 6 now so I don't have to deal with it. In order to do that, I needed a little bit more land to be filled in over here. So now that I've gotten that, I'm going to go ahead and pop this down, which doesn't get in the way of this port. And so now we can have both of the trucks and everything over here. So I can now stop this. I no longer need that to happen. And these trucks can begin to fill in this land over here. So what we're going to have over here, this port, hang on, conveyor belts is done. So let me real quick do this. I want that to happen pretty much right away. Yep, you upgrade, go. We're going to do it on this one too. And I think we're going to do it on this one as well. And that's going to take care of... no, I think it needs to be this one as well, because these two are going to meet. And so where they meet, I want it to speed up. You see how they're kind of getting backed up a little bit here? So I want all these to back up. So food's going to get backed up slightly here while these belts upgrade, but then everything should feed into this a lot faster. And I can also go ahead and I think probably do this too. And we can have conveyor belts 3 going through here now once it gets all done. Okay, let me see what the ship is up to as well. I really want to know what that is. Go ahead and clear that. So what are you exploring? All right, I'll wait till it's done. I could be patient, right? So what we want to do here is the entire series, because we learned this in the beta, but oh, I want to unpause you. We learned this in the beta already. Typically, it's more effective to have these ports be specialized in one resource, so that having one resource full doesn't end up costing you the other resource, right? If quartz gets completely backed up, for example, so like coal is ready to go, I'm running out of coal, but quartz is getting backed up, and so therefore the ship won't leave to go get more coal because it hasn't offloaded the quartz yet, right? So it tends to be better to have specialized resources on these. However, the ratio that I'm going to need to do for coal, for like using coal as well as the quartz, is a pretty easily defined ratio for this. So I want to take a look. I keep going into the research screen, but I mean to go into this screen. So for this, we have 24 quartz and 6 coal. We also need to create 3 graphite and to pump 3 graphite into this. So we're going to be creating graphite as well. And the process for that is 6. 6 creates 12. That's fine. So we're going to need basically 2 parts quartz, 1 part coal as a ratio to bring the stuff in. We're also going to have any spare coal that we're not using. Say, for example, if graphite fills up and, you know, we're now getting too much coal, we now have the ability to take that coal and route it over into here. I'm starting to think I want to put this over here instead now. Hang on. Do I have the ability to do that? It's the rocks and stuff, they get in the way. You know, I almost have the ability to do that. I could do it over here instead. A little more out of the way. Then I could route it around. You know what? I kind of like this better. We're going to do this instead. I'm going to remove that. We're going to have them focus on this instead. Changed my mind. That's fine. You can always... People change their mind all the time, right? We'll go about like that. I think that's all I needed for that. So now trucks, you guys go ahead and drop it off here. I think we'll do it here instead. Because there is a little bit of a chance to bring it from this side, and then I can open this up for better production. But this side's better for bringing this stuff in, I think. So once we get enough room over here, looks like with that being filled in, that'll be nice. We just maybe mark a little bit more on this side. We could just say, go a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. So we'll let them fill that in, and then we'll do it. But basically, we're going to have 2 of these ports to start with anyway. 2 of them are going to be bringing in the quartz, and 1 of them will be bringing in coal, all right? And what will end up happening, hopefully, is we'll have 4 and 2 because it's a cargo port 6. What did we discover? Absolutely nothing? Doesn't look like we got anything. Well, that's just silly. It was green. I thought it was something special and unknown, and 610, 470. Okay, so can we do this then? Not enough fuel. of course. All right, come back home. I'm still looking for nuclear power. It might be down here. That's near the limestone core. I thought for sure it'd be near the uranium mine. Perhaps if we battle this enemy and we defeat this enemy, we will discover nuclear power at the uranium mine. I mean, since I have to get the uranium mine anyway, I might as well clear it. So I think that's probably what we'll do. Trucks are complaining. Why? All right, it's all about these guys again. So I think what I need to do... Hang on. Where are you... Specifically, where are you trying to go? Come on. Show me which one... You. Can you do it? Show me which one you're trying to reach. It's that guy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... I don't want to send you for scrap. I want to recover you. Can I unassign you from this and recover it? There we go. And then you're trying to go to there, looks like. So it's basically this ramp is busted, is what you're saying. So let's just recover a couple of these. It looks like this ramp is busted. Yeah, ramp's busted. This one here might be busted too. We'll see. I want to get you two back on this and then give me another truck here. Are you busted too? If you don't move, I'm going to say... I'll just hit recover. You'll probably disappear. Yeah, so this whole ramp is just busted. All right, you guys are going to have to come in and do this over again here. Do that. Yeah, I don't think you guys are, but I'm going to unassign you anyway. And I'm actually going to send you for scrap. I'll unassign and send you for scrap too. Okay, so let's get these guys back in here so they can do the job. To get this laid in. That's clearly not happening the way I wanted it to. I think we'll go ahead and maybe tell them not to mine that. They got a lot of this stuff mined out, which is kind of cool. Didn't quite get the ramp, so this collapsed before I could make the wall. Yeah, they mined this out instead of the wall. So I guess this wall is completely non-functional anyway. Whatever, we'll just get rid of it now. It's fine. That will put stuff in our shipyard, though, so maybe that's not a good idea. Oh, speaking of which, they've added something to the game. I love it when feedback results in change. Now, some of you might not think this is a positive change in the game, but I happen to like what they've done here. We've been talking about this for a little bit. I definitely talked about it a lot in the Discord. If you're in the Captain of Industry Discord, specifically, I guess on the Canary channel, you might have seen this. I was telling them about how I wish there was a way to get rid of stuff in here. There's a huge balance consideration to that, but since this has a maximum and it's inconsistent in how that maximum works, basically if I had stuff in my ship, I wouldn't be able to deliver it to the shipyard if stuff that happened on the island, like from Unity breakdowns, filled it up, right? We talked about this in the last another video. Well, they've now added the ability to discard an item from this, discard a stack that's in here. So if I wanted to get rid of 223 of these household goods for whatever reason, I could do that now. I can click a button and just do it now, and it would make that resource disappear. So here's 5 recyclables. So I can go ahead and click this button, and it will say, are you sure you want to permanently just discard all the recyclables stored here? I can say yes, and that resource will go away forever. It just disappears. I lose it. And I don't consider this to be a balance issue because I had to spend resources to get this. And you can see it right here. It says it won't let me unload these. That's why these are here. Cannot unload cargo, shipyard is full, right? That problem is, that's a problem, right? So I can't do that probably because there's 223 household goods in here, which is why all of these storage units are here. So that they have a place to discard some of this stuff. And it looks to me like I need even more of them. So we'll just pop another one right here. I probably don't want to get in the way of existing stuff. We'll go right here with it. And we'll go ahead and quick deliver this, and I'm going to say household goods goes here. All right. Now, I am telling them to keep the shipyard empty, and that's priority 1. However, if there's nowhere for that to go, like in the case where there's nowhere for household goods to be to go, right? In that situation, they wouldn't take them out of here. There's nowhere for them to go. But now that I have a second storage bin for them, you can see now they're going to take them out of the shipyard and bring them into here. And that's going to free up space for stuff to be offloaded from the ship because there's going to be room for it now. And so this stuff should start getting offloaded from the ship as soon as that stuff leaves, I would think. 43 there, and then 17, 20. I want to see it leave. That I don't want to go if I can't here. I'll upgrade you too, because who knows, you might need a bigger storage later. So we got this loot, and there's some servers and stuff too, which is kind of nice, I guess. But I think I want to go in here and battle these guys. It's 430 battle score, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave now. Hopefully, when the ship gets back, it will be able to offload that stuff, and hopefully the trucks will now go ahead and bring those household goods in here, right? And that's what we want to see. Okay, so anyway, now that they've hopefully filled this in, did we do it? No, not yet. Oh, you know what? They've made a ramp here. So it's not going to be flat. Tell me I can build this. Okay, so we're not going to have flat. I need you to make this higher. That's the problem right now. So right around this area, I want you actually to be 3 all the way to here. Let's just give it a little bit of extra room. And then we'll go about like that with it. And then we can angle down like so and make it level 1 from there. Yeah, because I know this whole area over here is level 1, so I want it to be flat with this. Yeah, kind of like this. All right, that is gonna be fine. I just need it to be flatter up here. So this is our new dumping place, okay? Hopefully you guys do that with Gusto. I'm struggling to understand why these trucks don't do anything. I've assigned them here to do this, and they don't do anything. I could click this button, but then it's only these 2 trucks, right? If I unassign the trucks, then all of a sudden they're just like, oh, cool, we can work again, and then they'll start doing stuff or on the island later. But for some reason, they're not doing anything being assigned to the storage tank, even though I told it to empty and it's getting full. Quite strange. Not entirely sure what to think of that. Truck has no compatible excavator. Oh, that's because I messed it up, didn't I? So let's take one of the excavators from here and we'll assign it to this one instead, okay? And you know what? I'm actually probably should do 2 of them here. So let's do that and stick that there, and then we'll stick a couple of trucks there, okay? Good. Now you guys can go down here and make this ramp. Pretty please. Yeah, there you go. Make the ramp. Good. Okay, I was getting on maintenance, but now I'm sidetracked with the port and everything, right? So I think we can probably... I think we're probably good to turn this on and get this going and start making the PCBs that we're going to need, right? And we can start maybe storing them. So what I could do is just turn these on, at least the belts. I can activate belts to be built, because right now those are paused. So let those be built. And I'm not completely sure of where this is going to be, but I will say that the chlorine that we're going to be using for the graphite and stuff process, we're already producing more chlorine than we need. And if we do turn these on for more plastic, which is likely, then we can just activate this one. It's already built into the compact system, and it'll be great. So we whoop these guys' butts. That's great. And we come and look at it. Here's the uranium mine. We can now hit it to start repairs, but still don't know where nuclear technology is. So go back home. We will at least prepare for replacing that. We can't actually use the uranium, really. We can't use it until we have the resources from the mine. But I wanted it to be over here. I really wanted nuclear to be set up right over here. But I didn't get this flat enough, so I might end up having to put it on a hill, which is, I didn't want that. I wanted it to be flat on this area. If I could have maybe focused this a bit more, might have been good. I think as soon as they're done with the ramp, so that we have an actual smooth ramp all the way down into this mine from here, once they're done with that, they're gonna focus on this heavy, because I'm technically good right now without nuclear. I don't need nuclear to reach 12.4 megawatts, right? But it's a way easier to reach to reach it with that power. So I would like to get that going. So the ship is repaired. Not really. It's 93%. I think that's probably fine. The ship is being modified. I can probably hit this one. I think I'll hit this one. Although there's loot here. Maybe this is where it is. I don't know what this symbol is, but it seems like treasure. Like we're going to discover something cool there, right? Same thing with this over here. So perhaps we discover nuclear power there. I don't know. It says the ship is being modified. I think I'm going to go ahead and tell them not to auto repair for now, just because I don't need it. And I can go over here at 430 battle score and I can kick their butts. I know I have 400 parts on it, but it's fine. We'll go take that position too, just to see what happens with it. So this one, yeah, like, again, I don't really think I need the retaining wall. I can get rid of that. So just so that this goes away. And then this fluid storage is low on water. Interesting. Why are you low? I mean, I have upgraded some of the greenhouses, and that's what's feeding water there. So that's probably why too. Let's take a look at this tank over here. Yeah, so this is filling, which is a good sign. So I can add more water responsibilities to this tank if I want to as well. And I think to do that effectively, I'm going to want to upgrade this pipe. We're sending a lot of water this way. I'd like to go send more. So I'm going to upgrade this pipe. And I think this pipe gets replaced even through here. If I can click that pipe right here. I think even this one is going to get replaced that direction. And then probably a good idea to do even one more this way. And that way we can send a lot more water this direction, which feeds into these fields and stuff, of course. But then, you know, we can more rapidly fill these. And then this is a water pipe, right? Yeah, so this water pipe goes all the way this direction, and then it comes all the way this direction. We have water that gets deviated to go that way, but it's priority to out here. So as long as the crops are grabbing it, it should go this way. And then it goes out that way. And so we are providing, it's right here. So what we want to do is maybe flip this. Yeah, we can flip that. And then now this water source on this side of the island can now provide water to these two greenhouses, which are now drawing more, as well as this one is now specific to this one. So by just altering that course of that pipe, or just by flipping that pipe segment around, and by upgrading this pipe, I've now added a lot more water requirements on this tank. And what we hopefully will see is that more water is used from this side than this side. And that will hopefully allow this tank to start recovering a little bit over time. And I can always adjust it again, flip directions and stuff to put even more of the water load on this side than this one, since this side is producing a lot more water than over here is. Got another ship battle. I love how I can shoot them before they can shoot me. That's my favorite part of this. I just make them give up. Take them down. Oh yes, you're down. And we got radar system 2. That's cool. It's not nuclear energy, but that's cool. So we did get a technology from that spot. So I'm thinking this might be where we get that now. Which I was hoping it'd be near, near the uranium, but perhaps that's just not it. And it could be one of these two, I guess. But we'll keep looking for nuclear power. But I'm starting to, just lay the foundation, if you will, for what's to come in terms of getting nuclear power running. Let's take a look at this again. This dock should go right here. So it's going to need to be just a bit more. Starting to see it's green, so that means it should be allowed. Yeah, so we need like four more tiles in that direction in order to lay that in. So let them do that. Once they've got this filled in, we're going to start using a lot more fuel. And that's because I'm going to have them basically dedicated to dumping everything over here again. I paused this, right? I kind of got them not doing that anymore. This is connected. They still can do this now, but I kind of got them doing other things because they're closer and they're more urgent. But once we get that dock laid in, we got quartz coming in, we'll have uranium coming in, which again, I need this flat in order to do that because the dock needs to be a certain height. I cannot put a shipping dock on this coastline. It has to be a lower height, like level 3, like this is. And so this needs to be flat in order for me to do my nuclear plans right here, which is what it was always supposed to be. And I'm noticing water is a problem right now. This isn't completely full. This is completely empty. And these are busting ass, but it's also kind of... they're not... We could use more groundwater. I think maybe I'll just temporarily boost one of these instead, though. We're not prioritizing any specific input here. And I'm noticing all of these are going, so like we're definitely not getting... You are producing, right? Yeah, you should all be producing water. Okay, you two are full. Stop. Oh, my God, no. No, I can't believe it. Oh, what have I done? Oh, me. What have I done? Okay, hang on. 24, 40, so 15. It's really not that much water. It goes in there, okay? It goes in there. I can't believe it. I know some of you are like, I can believe it. Yeah, well, you know where you can shove it. This won't let me connect. Yeah, let's go like this. Click it. And then we'll go up and then over like so. And then you are just build. Stop it. Stop. Build. Thank you. Then there and there. Shit, I'm still in planning mode. Unpause. Build with Unity, go. Oh, man, I can't believe that. No wonder these things are going off. All right. Now with all of you built, I will see results, hopefully. You're not... Don't be paused. Don't be paused. You, like, flip the... It wasn't paused, and now what? Now it is. There it goes. All right. Can we send more water that way now? Huh? Here, we can actually let these fill up a little bit if I just prioritize this for a little bit. And, like, all of a sudden, now this will just start filling up. And this will drop down really fast. Or it won't. Look at this thing holding the line. What a stud. It is falling a little bit. It's not holding it like it could. But yeah, we're sending a ton of water from this side now. It just lets this side recover a little bit, and then we'll just switch the priority, and now they can both share again. Yeah, there you go. Oh, goodness. Can't believe I did that. I was like, why is this thing spouting off consistently? It's not supposed to happen. It's only supposed to be intermittent. No, that takes care of it. Let me check this water tank really quick. Okay, so this is dropping. So what I want to try and do intermittently, right, is I'm just going to unpause a couple of these again and just like, you know, get them to send more water that way. And again, what I'd like to do, and I don't know if it lets me do this really well, but what I would really prefer to do is to turn all of these on. And, you know, it goes up to 13 or whatever. But then to be able to do that. And this is where something goes wrong in the setup. At least it was. What we should see now is a ton of water being pushed through this pipe and getting into this system really easily. Like, it should be very fast. And it should be forcing its way through here. And, you know, I think perhaps it's maybe just too much. Like, I don't know if it can feed water that fast. I mean, we're supposed to have a good amount of water coming from that side into here, and then this tank too, and then everything pumps out on these maxed out pipes. It gets taken down in here too, and then over into here as well. So we'll see if this number recovers now that I've got all those up, but I also want to keep an eye on power too. Like, that's just something that needs to be constantly running. And, you know, it could be an oil problem too. You know, oil still isn't coming in fast enough on this. Very concerning as well. So I'd like to see why that is. Are my oil rigs... I mean, they are... Yeah, okay, stored product is low. So we'll crank these back up. That could be it. Yeah, these could be cranked up again. So crank them up to max, and hopefully we don't have to wait for oil anymore. Can we find nuclear yet, please? Pretty please. Let's go 470. Take this guy out. We can do it. Crazy how I was going to do maintenance today and then this happens. I just don't know. Because I was ready to place it here, and now I'm thinking it's got to be here. Let me let it run for just a little bit, and then I want to get at least the port done, and I'll show you the plans for getting the silicon and everything going. So give me a second. I'll be right back. No, not really give you a second. I'll be right back. Because we somehow discovered a nuclear energy. Which is weird because like I'm on my way to do this and we've discovered another uranium mine. It's weird. Like I don't get it. Where did that come from? I don't know. It just pops this message up now and says, by the way, you've discovered it. I figured that's what this was once you get the uranium mine. But yeah, it just popped up on our way over here. So maybe this is the spoiler and we find it there. Either way, yeah, I didn't have enough chance to like let it run at all before that happened. So I just wanted to make sure I showed you that nuclear energy has now been something that we have discovered. And so now I can start uranium enrichment technology. I'll add that to the queue. And honestly, I think that's probably more important than the big vehicles are. And it's honestly more important than the statue of maintenance as well. I'm going to cancel this, actually, and go right for uranium enrichment instead. Then we'll start nuclear reactor research, and then we can start getting that going for power. I think that'll be great. We'll start the statue of maintenance after that, and we'll follow it up with the large vehicles. And then we might as well get the Tomb of Captains, or because I want to get the bridge, actually. Let's do the bridge first. We already got the radar system, so that's cool. After that, we'll do fuel tank upgrade, and then I'll swap back and do the Tomb of Captains as well. We'll see what that is all about. Okay, cool. So again, I still want to place this in order to get that going. So instead, what I think I'll do is we'll get the fields going for like canola and stuff so that I can start maybe thinking about cooking oil. We only have 26 workers. So like I don't have a whole lot of workers here. I might need to get a bigger town, which again is what this is all about. Is building in the other town over here is the reason, so I can have more workers, because this town is done. I don't want to build any more over here. I suppose I can upgrade the housing here. That would give me a few more workers, wouldn't it? But it also, adds to their needs, their neediness. They're at 77 household goods. I mean, we're way in excess of that. It's fine. Ship in battle, we got defeated. I think we could have taken a couple more shots and done this. All right, I don't think we should have been defeated here. Feel like we should have won that battle. All right, we were gonna win that. All right, I don't want to hear it. Now I have to hear it. They have to go fix the ship, and I think the ship gets repaired with steel now, doesn't it? We've got a ton of iron, so we don't even use the iron anymore. Not in this storage anyway. Not in this area anyway. In fact, that iron could just be redirected, I guess. But well, once we do ship repairs, then the stuff starts working again. But okay. So anyway, let's talk about that. So we're gonna bring in quartz and coal in one. Okay, it's gonna get redirected, and I just want to show you the thing. So chemical plant 2 is what's gonna be responsible for making graphite. The coal is going to head up towards chemical plant 2s. So we're going to take and I never remember where it is because I can never find it right here. Chemical plant 2s. I'm going to nest them in over here. I'm not entirely sure of their specific positioning just yet. But I'm going to nest them in over here somewhere. Probably like, like this. There's going to be 2 of them. And these are going to make graphite. Okay. We're going to take chlorine supply from over here, which is very easy. We're going to pipe it over here and get it into this area. Piece of cake. The coal then comes from this side. It'll follow this pipe at level 2, so it stays out of the way. And then as it gets here, it will duck underneath this on this side of the pipe, and it will then split and go go both ways, right? It'll split and go this direction to provide it for here. I'm also going to have a storage unit right here, by the way, so we have another overflow. It's going to go that direction so that it will provide the coal needed for the graphite and the chemical plants, right? And I'll just mark those recipes now. It will also head this direction, level 2, and meet up with this coal belt, and then these belts will get reversed, and we can start getting a little bit of relief off of this system for coal by having some of the coal come from this port and make its way this direction. But we're not going to have that much coal, so we want to kind of watch the supply, and as we're doing it, we're going to make a big port here so that we have the flexibility of expanding it in the future, and maybe we can provide even more coal for the island later on too, if that's possible. So we're almost done here, but it looks like they really need me to... I really need them to focus on this. I'm just going to pull this out of here and say, please only do these squares. So in the next video, we'll see that set up, but this is that's sort of the workflow to do that. And then the quartz comes in. Show the quartz. The quartz comes in. We combine that with the coal supply as well, and the graphite that we're creating to create molten silicon from arc furnaces. All right. And so those arc furnaces, again, I'm thinking of making them right here, because this gets the silicon source kind of like really close. But I think there's an extra process for it. Let me just look at it again. Where is it? So this gets us the molten silicon. Slag and exhaust are easy to manage from this area. But it looks like arc furnace 2 is even cooler because it adds water, which we have water like right here. So, I mean, water. Done, you know. Where is it? I think we'll take the arc furnace. Yeah, right here. So these are not that big. We can get a couple of them in here to handle that in this area. And then once that's molten silicon, it then needs to go into the silicon reactor with hydrogen. And then, you know, we can work with hydrogen in this area too. It's not hard to do. And then that would be where silicon reactor is here. And these are very small. And so then we end up with the silicon heading that direction so it could be processed for electronics and all that stuff, like wherever it needs to go, right? So that's how I plan to use the little gaps that are in this system. This area here is still reserved for expanding this way. I haven't really, I think I'll probably move this over a little bit because I haven't really expanded this. So this will probably be here instead. But there'll be room for like maybe one more of these. I don't think we need a whole lot more, maybe two more. And then there's room for more here too. But again, I don't know how much more of these I need since we're already adequately supplying medical supplies, right? Ooh, we're not. We are not. So I do need more of these too. I'll look at that as well. But yeah, there's room already to expand this if we needed to. And I mean, clearly this is being pumped through here, so I'm not entirely sure. It's all about this, isn't it? Yeah, it's the disinfectant. And the weird thing is the disinfectant is balanced against this supply. So like we really should be having these work constantly. So it looks to me the real reason why these aren't pumping out enough disinfectant is because we're not making enough ethanol. It has less to do with these not being sufficient for these and more to do with the ethanol supply, which is all about getting corn in here anyway. So we should see these belts going a lot faster now. And see the supply is very spread out now. It's not bunched together. And as we get new stuff being pushed through here, a lot of these can be emptied out. And so we should see them like bundling up right here on this belt. You see how everything is a little bit more closer together. That's what we want to see. As the supply starts to merge onto the faster belts, we can then start to see more of it be made into animal feed. We can then provide for more animals. I can extend this a little bit further now. I could probably just go ahead and do that. If you put this all the way at the end, the slaughtering will just happen at the end. It's fine. But again, I didn't know how much supply I could really handle, so I'm slowly expanding it. But what we really need a lot of is corn to head into here. So I probably will have a dedicated corn. I might try to... I might put another splitter in somewhere. Potentially right here. So that corn can come off... I don't know. I mean, I've already done that, right? I guess I could prioritize it. I already did. So like if we ever get excess corn... instead of wheat there, like that's the only time we ever get ethanol made is when that happens. So hopefully that starts to happen more often as we upgrade these into more greenhouses. We'll start to see more corn be produced through these, and like this whole supply just starts getting overloaded. And then if we can produce more And the fertilizer is looking pretty good now, right? And so if we can start getting more of these things upgraded, I might even be able to say, hey, this farm, you're doing really good on your target. How about you don't even bother with wheat anymore and you just do nothing but corn? And so a lot of fertilizer will be used for this, but it will consistently kick out corn every single time. And that will give us a huge bump to ethanol. And that's what we need in order to sustain disinfectant. And so that's probably why that's low. But guys, this is a long video already. I'm really trying my hardest. I appreciate your patience. I know there's a lot of other creators that make content for this game, and I know they're all probably better than I am at it, but I do appreciate you watching it and hanging out with me for it. I'm having a good time with it. It's sometimes a little frustrating because it's like I got to do like an hour of planning, in order to make a video sometimes. And I got a really limited schedule at the moment, but I'm hoping it gets better. And I'm looking forward to getting nuclear set up. And I think once I can get that firmly established, everything will be super stable. I really do want to try the 2 cities sort of approach. And obviously we need to get gold, which is way over here. So like there's got to be another civilization over here. And I have no idea what that means for trucks. But we're going to make trucks locally over here. And then eventually I'd like them to start dumping a lot of their rock, dumping a lot of their waste and stuff to make a solid coastline over here. Because then I've got a little surprise on what we're going to do over here if we can make this a nice flat coastline. Okay. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you. I hope you liked the video, and we'll see you next time, where I think maintenance 2 will finally actually get done. We're working on it. It's a work in progress. You can see we're going to get this port over here, and I think everything will work then. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.